Proceed, Silenus, to procure my fall, and by the doom of death end woes and all.
Merchant of Syracuse, plead no more. I am not partial to infringe our laws. It hath in solemn synods been decreed, both by the Syracusans and ourselves, to admit no traffic to our adverse towns. Nay more, if any born of Ephesus be seen at Syracusan marts and fairs, again, if any Syracusan born come to the bay of Ephesus, he dies. Unless 1,000 marks be levied to quit the penalty and to ransom him. Thy substance, valued at the highest rate, cannot amount to 100 marks. Therefore, by law, thou art condemned to die.
Yet this comfort, my comfort, when your words are done, my woes end likewise with the evening sun.
Well, Syracusian, say in brief the cause why thou departst from thy native home, and for what cause thou camest to Ephesus.
A heavier task could not have been imposed than I to speak my griefs unspeakable. Yet, that the world may witness that my end was wrought by nature, not by vile offense, I'll utter what my sorrows give me leave. In Syracuse was I born, and wed unto a woman happy, but for me, and by me, had not our hap been bad, with her I lived in joy. Our wealth increased by prosperous voyages I often made, and the great care of goods at random left drew me from the kind embracements of my spouse, from whom my absent was not 6 months old before herself, almost fainting under that pleasing punishment that women bear, had made provision for her following me, and soon and safe arrived where I was. There had she not been long, but she became a joyful mother of 2 goodly sons, and which was strange, that one so like the other as could not be distinguished by them but by names. At that very hour, and in the self-same inn, a meaner woman was delivered of such a burden, male twins, both alike. Those, for their parents were exceedingly poor, I bought and brought up to attend my sons. My wife, not meanly proud of 2 such boys, made daily motions for our home return. Unwillingly, I agreed. Alas, too soon we came aboard. A league from Epidamnum, had we sailed before the always wind-obeying deep, did but convey unto our fearful minds a double warrant of immediate death, which though myself would gladly have embraced, yet the incessant weepings of my wife and piteous plainings of the pretty babes forced me to seek delays for them and me. And this it was, for other means there was none. My wife, more careful for the latter born, had fastened him unto a small spare mast. To him, one of the other twins was bound, which I had been heedful of the other. The children thus disposed, my wife and I, fixing our eyes on whom our care was fixed, fastened ourselves to either end of the mast, and floating straight, obedient to the stream, we carried toward Corinth, or so we thought. At length the sun, gazing upon the earth, dispersed those vapors that offended us, and by the benefit of his wished light, the seas waxed calm, and we discovered 2 ships from far making amain to us. But ere they came, let me say no more. Gather the sequel from what went before.
Nay, 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 forward, old man. Do not break off so, for we may pity, though not pardon thee.
Oh, had the gods done so, I had not now worthily termed them merciless to us. For ere the ships could meet by twice 5 leagues, we were encountered by a mighty rock, which being violently borne upon, our helpful ship was smitten in the midst, so that in this unjust divorce of us, fortune had left to both of us alike what to delight in and what to sorrow for. Her part, poor soul, seeming as burdened with lesser weight, but not with lesser woe, was carried with more speed before the wind, and in our sight they were taken up by fishermen of Corinth, as we thought. At length another ship seized on us, and knowing whom it was their hap to save, gave healthful welcome to their shipwrecked guest, and would have reft the fishers of their prey, had not their bark been very slow of sail, and therefore homeward did we bend our course. Thus have you heard me severed from my bliss, that by misfortunes was my life prolonged, to tell sad tales of my own mishaps.
And for the sake of them thou sourest for, Do me the favor to dilate it full. What hath befallen of them and thee till now?
My youngest boy, and yet my eldest care, at 18 years became inquisitive about his brother and importuned me that his attendant, so his case was like, reft of his brother, but retained his name, might bear him company in the quest of him, whom, whilst I labored of a love to see, I hazarded the loss of whom I loved. 5 summers have I spent in furthest Greece, and coasting homeward, came to Ephesus, hopeless to find, yet loath to leave unsought at that or any place that harbors men. But here must end the story of my life, and happy were I in my untimely death, could all my travels warrant me they live.
Hapless Aegean, whom the fates have marked to bear the extremity of dire mishap. Now, trust me, were it not against our laws, my soul would sue as advocate for thee. But thou art adjudged but to the death, and past sentence may not be recalled. Yet I will favor thee in what I can. Therefore, merchant, I'll limit thee this day to seek thy life by beneficial help. Try all the friends thou hast in Ephesus. Beg thou or borrow to make up the sum and live. But if no, then thou art doomed to die. Jailer, take him to thy custody.
I will, my lord.
Hopeless, helpless, doth Aegean wend but to procrastinate his lifeless end.
Therefore give out that you are of Epidamnum. This very day a Syracusan merchant is apprehended for arrival here, and not being able to buy out his life, according to the statute of the town, dies ere the weary sun sets in the west. There is your money that I had to keep.
Go, bear to the Centaur where we host. Stay there, Dromio, till I come to thee. Within this hour will it be dinner time. Till that, I'll view the manners of the town, peruse the traders, gaze upon the buildings, and then return and sleep within mine inn. For with long travel, I am stiff and weary. Get thee away.
Many a man would take you at your word and go indeed, having so good a mien.
Trusty villain, miss, that very oft when I am dull with care and melancholy lightens my humor with his merry jests. What, will you walk with me about the town and then go to my inn and dine with me?
I'm invited, sir, to certain merchants of whom I hope to make much benefit. I crave your pardon. Soon at 5 o'clock, please you, I'll meet with you upon the mart, and afterward consort with you till bedtime. My present business calls me from you right now.
Well, farewell till then. I will go lose myself and wander up and down to view the city.
Sir, I commend you to your own content.
He that commends me to mine own content commends me to the thing I cannot get. I to the world am like a drop of water that in the ocean seeks another drop, who falling there to find his fellow forth, unseen, inquisitive, confounds himself. So I, to find a mother and a brother, in quest of them, unhappy, lose myself. Oh, here comes the almanac of my true date. What now? How chance thou art returned so soon?
Returned so soon? Rather approached. Too late. The capon burns, the pig falls from the spit, the clock has struck 12 upon the bell, my mistress made it 1 upon my cheek. She is so hot because the meat is cold. The meat is cold because you come not home. You come not home because you have no stomach. You have no stomach, having broke your fast. But we that know what it is to fast and pray are penitent for your default today.
Stop in your wind, sir. Tell me this, I pray. Where have you left the money that I gave you?
6 pence that I had last Wednesday to pay the saddler for my mistress Crupper. The saddler had it, sir. I kept it not.
I am not in sportive humor now. Tell me, and dally not, where is the money? We being strangers here, how darest thou trust so great a charge from thine own custody?
I pray you jest, sir, as you sit at dinner. I from my mistress come to you in post. If I return, I shall be post indeed, for she will score your fault upon my pate.
Come, Dromio, come. These jests are out of season. Reserve them till a merrier hour than this. Where is the gold I gave in charge to thee?
To me, sir. Why, you gave me no gold to me.
Come on, sir knave, have done with your foolishness, and tell me how thou hast disposed thy charge.
My charge was but to fetch you from the mart home to your house, the Phoenix, sir, to dinner. My mistress and her sister stay for you.
In what safe place you have bestowed my money, or I shall break that merry sconce of yours that stands on tricks when I am undisposed. Where is the 1,000 marks thou hadst to me?
I have some marks of yours upon my pate, some of my mistress marks upon my shoulders, but not 1,000 marks between you both. If I should pay your worship those again, perchance you will not bear them patiently.
Thy mistress marks? What mistress, slave, hast thou?
Your worship's wife, my mistress at the Phoenix. She that doth fast till you come home to dinner.
What, wilt thou flout me thus unto my face, being forbid? There, take that, you sir knave.
Ow! Oh, what mean you, sir? For God's sake, hold your hands. Nay, you will not, sir. I'll take my heels.
Upon my life, by some device or other, the villain is o'erwrought of all my money. Yet they say this town is full of cozenage, as nimble jugglers that deceive the eye, disguised cheaters, prating mountebanks, and many such like liberties of sin. If it be proved so, I will be gone the sooner. I'll to the centaur to go seek this slave. I greatly fear my money is not safe.
Neither my husband nor the slave returned, that in such haste I sent him to seek his master.
Perhaps some merchant hath invited him, and from the mart he's somewhere gone to dinner. Good sister, let us dine and never fret. A man is a master of his liberty. Time is their master, and when they see time, they'll go or come. If so, be patient, sister.
Why should their liberty then ours be more?
Because their business still lies out a door.
And look, when I serve him so, he takes it ill.
Oh, no, he is the bridle of your will.
There's none but asses will be bridled so.
Why, headstrong liberty is lashed with woe.
This servitude makes you to keep unwed.
Not this, but troubles of the marriage bed.
But were you wedded, you would bear some sway.
Ere I learn to love, I'll practice to obey.
How if your husband starts some other where?
Till he come home again, I would forbear.
Patience unmoved. No marvel though she pause. They can be meek that have no other cause.
Well, I will marry one day, but to try. Here comes your man. Now is your husband nigh.
Say, is your tardy master now at hand?
Hey, he's at 2 hands with me, and that my 2 ears can witness.
Say, didst thou speak with him? Knowest thou his mind?
Aye, he told me his mind upon mine ear. To shew his hand, I scarce could understand it.
Spake he so doubtfully that thou couldst not feel his meaning?
Nay, he struck so plainly I could too well feel his blows.
But say, I prithee, is he coming home? It seems he hath great care to please his wife.
Mistress, sure my master is horn mad.
Horn mad, thou villain.
I mean, not cuckold mad, but sure he is stark mad. When I desired him to come home to dinner, he asked me for 1,000 marks in gold. "'Tis dinner time," quoth I. "My gold," quoth he. "Your meat doth burn," quoth I. "My gold," quoth he. "Will you come home?" quoth I. "My gold," quoth he. "Where is 1,000 marks I gave thee, villain?" "The pig," quoth I, "is burned." "My gold," quoth he. "My mistress, sir," quoth I. "Hang up thy mistress. I know not thy mistress. Out on thy mistress."
Quoth who?
Quoth my master, "I know," quoth he, "no house, no wife, no mistress, so that my errand do unto my tongue, I thank him, I bear home upon my shoulders, for in conclusion, he did beat me there."
Go back again, thou slave, and fetch him home.
Go back again, and be new beaten home, for God's sake, send some other messenger.
Hence, prating peasant, fetch thy master home.
Oh, am I so round with you as you with me, that like a football you do spurn me thus? You spurn me hence, and he will spurn me hither. If I last in this service, you must case me in leather.
Fie, how impatience loureth in your face.
His company must do his minions grace, whilst I at home starve for a merry look. Hath homely age the alluring beauty took from my poor cheek? Well, then he hath wasted it. Are my discourses dull, barren, my wit? What ruins are in me that can be found by him not ruined? Then he is the ground of my defeatures. My decayed fare, a sunny look of his would soon repair, but too unruly dear he breaks the pail and feeds from home. Poor Amphion is stale.
Self-harming jealousy. Fie, beat it hence.
Yeah, unfeeling fools can with such wrongs dispense. I know his eye doth homage otherwhere, or else what lets it but he would be here? Sister, you know he promised me a chain. Would that alone a toy he would detain? Since then my beauty cannot please his eye, I'll weep what's left away, and weeping die.
The gold I gave to laid up safe in the center, and the heedful slave is wandered forth in care to seek me out. I could not speak with Dromio, since at first I sent him from the mart. Here he comes. How now, sir? Is your merry humor altered? As you love strokes, so jest with me again. You know no centaur? You received no gold? Your mistress had sent to have me home to dinner? My house was at the Phoenix. Wast thou mad that thus so madly thou didst answer me?
Oh, what answer, sir? When spake I such a word?
Even now, even here, not half an hour since.
I have not seen you since you sent me hence, home to the centaur with the gold you gave me.
Villain, thou didst deny the gold receipt and toldst me of a mistress and a dinner, for which I hope thou feltst I was displeased.
I'm glad to see you in this merry vein. What means this jest? I pray you, master, tell me.
Yea, dost thou jeer and flout me in the teeth? Thinkst thou I jest? Oh, take thou that, and that.
Oh, ah! Hold, sir, for God's sake, now your jest is in earnest. Upon what bargain do you give it to me?
Because I familiarly sometimes do use you for my fool and trap, jest upon my love, and make a comment of my serious hours. When the sun shines, let foolish gnats make sport, but creep in crannies when he hides. You will jest with me, know my aspect, and fashion your demeanor to my looks, or I will beat you method into your sconce.
Why, sir, am I beaten?
Dost thou not know?
Nothing, sir, but that I am beaten.
Shall I tell you why?
Aye, sir, and wherefore? For they say every why hath a wherefore.
Why, first, for flouting me, and wherefore, for urging it the second time to me.
Well, was it there ever any man thus beaten out of season, when in the why and the wherefore is neither rhyme nor reason? Well, sir, I thank you.
Thank me, sir, for what?
Marry, sir, for this something that you gave me for nothing.
I'll make you amends next to give you nothing for something.
Oh, hi. Hi, Antipholus, look strange and frown. Some other mistress hath thy sweet aspects. I am not Adriana, nor thy wife. Yeah. The time was once when thou unurged wouldst vow that never words were music to thine ear, that never object pleasing in thine eye, that never touch well welcome to thy hand, that never meat sweet savour in thy taste, unless I spoke, or looked, or touched, or carved to thee. How comes it now, my husband? Oh, how comes it that thou art thus estranged from thyself? Thyself I call it being strange to me, that undividable, incorporate, and better than thy dear self's better part. Oh, do not tear away thyself from me, for no, my love. As easy mayest thou fall a drop of water in the breaking gulf, and take unmingled that same drop again without addition or diminishing, as take from me thyself, and not me too. How dearly would it touch me to the quick, shouldst thou, but here I were licentious, and that this body consecrate to thee by ruffian lust should be contaminate? Wouldst thou not spit at me, and spurn at me, and hurl the name of husband in my face, and tear the stained skin off my harlot brow, and from my false hand cut the wedding ring, and break it with a deep divorcing vow? I know thou canst. And therefore see thou do it. I am possessed with an adulterate blood. My blood is mingled with the crime of lust. For if we two be one and thou play false, I do digest the poison of thy flesh, being strumpeted by thy contagion. Keep then fair league and truce with thy true bed, and I live unstained, thou undishonored.
Plead you to me, fair dame? I know you not. In Ephesus I am but 2 hours old, as strange unto your town as to your talk, who every word by all my wit being scanned, want wit in all one word to understand.
Why, brother, how world is changed with you. When were you wont to see my sister thus? She sent for you by Dromio home to dinner.
By Dromio?
By me?
By thee. And this thou didst return from him, that he did buffet thee, and in his blows denied my house for me, for his wife.
Did you converse, sir, with his gentlewoman? I mean, what is the course and compact of your drift?
No, sir, I never saw her this time.
Villain, thou liest. For her, even her very words didst thou deliver to me on the mart.
I never spake with her in my whole life.
How can she thus then call us by our names?
How ill agrees it with your gravity to counterfeit thus grossly with your slave, abetting him to thwart me in my mood. Be it my wrong, you are from me exempt, but wrong not that wrong with a more contempt. Come, I will fasten on this sleeve of thine. Thou art an elm, my husband, and I a vine, whose weakness married to thy stronger state makes me with thy strength to communicate.
To me she speaks. She moves me for her theme. What, was I married to her in my dream? Or sleep I now? and think I hear all this. What error drives our eyes and ears amiss? Until I know with sure uncertainty, I'll entertain the offered phallus.
Dromio, go bid the servants spread for dinner.
Oh, from my beads, I cross me for a sinner. This is the fairyland. Oh, spite of spite. We talk with goblins, urchins, elves, and sprites.
Why pratest thou to thyself and answerest not? Dromio, thou drone, thou snail, thou slug, thou sot.
I am transformed, master, am I not?
I think thou art in mind, and so am I.
Nay, master, both in mind and in my shape.
Thou hast thine own form.
No, I am an ape.
If thou art changed to aught, 'tis to an ass.
'Tis true. She rides me, and I long for grass. 'Tis so. I am an ass, else it could never be. But I should know her as well as she knows me.
Come, no longer will I be a fool to put the finger in the eye and weep whilst man and master laugh my woes to scorn. Come, sir, to dinner. Dromio, keep the gate. Husband, I'll dine above with you today and shrive you of 1,000 idle pranks. Sirrah, if any ask you for your master, say he dines forth and let no creature enter. Come, sister. Dromio, play the porter well.
Okay.
And they were in hell, sleeping or waking, mad or well advised. Known unto these and to myself disguised, I'll say as they say and persever so. And in this mist at all adventures go.
Master, shall I be porter at the gate?
Aye, and let none enter lest I break your pate.
Come, Antipholus, we dine too late.
Good Signor Angelo, you must excuse us all. My wife is shrewish when I keep not hours. Say that I lingered with you at your shop to see the making of her carcanet, and that tomorrow you'll bring it home. But here's a villain that would face me down. He met me on the mart, and that I beat him and charged him with 1,000 marks in gold, and that I deny my wife and house. Thou drunkard, thou! What does thou mean by this?
Say what you will, sir, but I know what I know. That you beat me at the mart, I had your hand to show. If the skin were parchment and the blows you gave were ink, your own handwriting would tell you what I think.
I think thou art an ass.
Sir, so it doth appear by the wrongs I suffer and the blows I bear. I should kick, being kicked, and being at that pass, you would keep me from my heels, and beware of an ass.
But stop. Oh, my door is locked. Go bid them let us in.
Maud, Bridget, Marion, Cecil, Julian, Gin. Maud, Bridget, Marion, Cecil, Julian, Gin. Gin, let us in. Gin, let us in. Gin, 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 let us in.
Gin?
Let us in. Gin, let us in. Gin, gin, please begin. Master, I will take a sip of not gin and wait for gin to answer the door.
When has gin ever got you into anywhere?
Well, it's a funny story, actually. Once upon a time, gin let me into this house because Gin was right there waiting for me when we called Gin's name.
So nice of Gin.
Yeah, Gin was the one. Gin was the one that let me in the house. Gin, Porter, Maud, Bridget.
Did you call Malt Horse? Marion.
Cecil? Yeah, I know Cecil.
Where's Cecil? Bridget's got to be there. Come on, is Bridget there?
Maud, Bridget, Marion, Cecil, Jillian, Gin.
Aye! Either get thee from the door or sit down at the hatch, you fools. Dost thou conjure for wenches that thou calls for such a store, when one is one too many? Go, get thee from my door.
What patches made our porter? My master stays in the street.
Oh, well, let him walk from hence he came, lest he catch cold on his feet.
Hey, who talks within there? Ho, open the door.
Oh, right, sir. I'll tell you when, and you tell me, wherefore.
Wherefore? For my dinner. I've not dined today.
Nor today here you must not. Come again when you may.
What art thou that keeps me out from the house I owe?
The porter for this time, sir. I don't know where things are back here, but my name is Dromio.
No! Villain! Thou hast both stolen mine office and my name. The one there got me credit, the other mickle blame. If thou hadst been Dromio today in my place, thou wouldst have changed thy office for an aim, an ad lib, or thy name for an ass.
Now, baggage, let me in.
Can you tell me for whose sake?
Master, knock the door hard.
Oh, let him knock it till it ache.
Who is that at the door that keeps all this noise?
Oh, by my troth, your town is troubled with unruly boys.
You there, wife? You might have come before.
Your wife, Sir Knave? Go, get you from the door.
Went in pain, master, this knave would go sore.
There's something in the wind that we cannot get in.
You would say so, master. If your garments were thin, your cake there is warm within. You stand here in the cold. It would make a man mad as a buck to be so bought and sold.
Go fetch me something. I'll break up the gate.
Hey, break any breaking here, and I'll break your knave's pate.
There's too much out upon thee. I pray thee, let me in.
Oh, I when fowls have no feathers and fish have no fin.
Well, I'll break in. Go, borrow me a crow.
Crow without feather. Master, mean you so? For a fish without a fin, there's a fowl without a feather. If a crow help us in, sirrah, we'll pluck a crow together.
Go get thee gone. Fetch me an iron crow.
Have patience, sir. Oh, let it not be so. Herein you war against your reputation and draw within the compass of suspect the unviolated honor of your wife. Once this, your long experience of her wisdom, her sober virtue, years of modesty, plead on her part some cause to you unknown. And doubt not, sir, but she will well excuse why at this time the doors are made against you. Be ruled by me. Depart in patience and get you to the Tiger both to dinner. And about evening come yourself alone to know the reason of this strange restraint. If by strong hand you offer to break in now in the stirring passage of the day, a vulgar comment will be made of it, and that supposed by the common route against your yet ungalled estimation, that may with foul intrusion enter in, and dwell upon your grave when you are dead. For slander lives upon succession, for error housed where it gets possession.
You have prevailed. I will depart in quiet, and in despite of mirth mean to be merry. I know a wench of excellent discourse, pretty and witty, wild, and yet too gentle. There we will dine. This woman that I mean, my wife, but I protest without dessert, hath oftentimes upbraided me withal. To her will we to dinner. Angela, get you home and fetch me the chain. By this I know 'tis made. Bring it, I pray you, to the Porcupine, for there's the house. The chain will I bestow, be it for nothing, but to spite my wife. Upon mine hostess there, good sir, make haste. And since mine own doors refuse to entertain me, I'll knock elsewhere and see if they'll disdain me.
I'll meet you at that place some hour hence.
Go, do so. This jest shall cost me some expense.
And may it be that you have quite forgot a husband's office? Shall Antipholus, even in the spring of love, thy love springs rot? Shall love in building grow so ruinous? If you did wed my sister for her wealth, then for her wealth's sake, use her with more kindness. Or if you like elsewhere, do it by stealth. Muffle your false love with some show of blindness. Let not my sister read it in your eye. Be not thy tongue to thine own shame's orator. Look sweet, speak fair, become disloyalty, apparel vice like virtue's harbinger. Bear a fair presence, though your heart be tainted. Teach sin the carriage of a holy saint. Be secret false. What need she be acquainted? What simple thief brags of his own attaint? 'Tis double wrong to truant with your bed and let her read it in thy looks at board. Shame hath a bastard fame well managed. Ill deeds are doubled with an evil word. Alas, poor women, make us but believe, being compact of credit, that you love us, though others have the arm. Show us the sleeve. We in your motion turn, and you may move us. Then, gentle brother, get you in again. Comfort my sister, cheer her, call her wife. 'Tis holy sport to be a little vain when the sweet breath of flattery conquers strife.
Sweet mistress, what your name is else I know not, nor by what wonder you do hit of mine. Less in your knowledge and your grace you show not than our earth's wonder, more than earth divine. Teach me, dear creature, how to think and speak. Lay open to my earthy gross conceit, smothered in errors, feeble, shallow, weak, the folded meaning of your words' deceit. Against my soul's pure truth, why labor you to make it wander in an unknown field? Are you a god? Would you create me new? Transform me then, and to your power I'll yield. But if that I am I, then well I know your weeping sister is no wife of mine, nor to her bed no homage do I owe. Far more to you do I incline.
What? Are you mad that you do reason so?
Not mad, but mated. How? I do not know.
It is a false that springeth from your eye.
Gazing on your beams, fair sun being by.
Gaze where you should, and that will clear your sight.
As good to wink, sweet love, as look on nights.
Why call you me love? Call my sister so.
Thy sister.
That's my sister.
No, it is thyself. Mine own self's better part. Mine eye's clear eye, my dear heart's dearer heart. My food, my fortune, and my sweet hope's aim. My soul earth's heaven, and my heaven's claim.
All this my sister is, or else should be.
Call thyself sister sweet, for I am thee. Thee will I love, and with thee lead my wife. Thou hast no husband yet, nor I no wife. Give me thy hand.
Oh, soft, sir. Hold you still. I'll fetch my sister to go get her goodwill.
Why, how now, Dromio? Where runst thou so fast?
Do you know me, sir? Am I Dromio? Am I your man? Am I myself?
Thou art Dromio, thou art my man, thou art thyself.
I am an ass. I am a woman's man, and just besides myself.
What woman's man, and how besides thyself?
Mary, sir, besides myself, I am due to a woman, one that claims me, one that haunts me, one that will have me.
What claim lays she to thee?
Mary, sir, such claim as you would lay to your horse. And she would have me as a beast, not that I, being a beast, she would have me, but that she, being a very beastly creature, lays claim to me.
What is she?
A very reverend body. I have but lean luck in the match, and yet she's a wondrous fat marriage.
How dost thou mean a fat marriage?
Mary, sir, she's the kitchen wench, and she's all grease, and I know not what use to put her to, but to make a lamp of her, and run from her by her own light. I warrant her rags and the tallow in them will burn a pole in winter. If she lives till doomsday, she'll burn a week longer than the whole world.
What complexion is she of?
She's swart like my shoe, but her face nothing like so. Clean kept, for why? I mean, she sweats. A man may go over shoes in the grime of it.
Well, that's a fault water will mend.
No, sir, it is ingrained. Noah's flood could not do it.
What's her name?
Nell? Sir, but her name in 3/4, that's an L in 3/4, will not measure her from hip to hip. Oh!
Bears some breadth.
No longer from head to foot than from hip to hip. She is spherical, like the globe. I could find out countries in her.
In what part of her body stands Ireland?
Mary, sir, in her buttocks. I found it out by the bogs.
Where England?
I looked for the chalky cliffs. I could find no whiteness in them.
Where Spain?
Faith, I saw it not, but I felt it hot in her breath.
Where America? The Indies?
Oh, sir, on her nose. All o'er-embellished with their rubies and carbuncles and sapphires, declining their rich aspect to the hot breath of Spain, who sent the whole armados of carracks to be ballast at her nose.
And where stood Belgia, the Netherlands?
Sir, I did not look so low. To conclude, this drudge or diviner, she laid claim to me, called me Dromio, swore I was assured to her, told me what privy marks I had about me, as the mark on my shoulder, that mole on my neck, the great wart on my left arm, that I, amazed, ran from her as a witch.
Go, hie thee presently, post to the road, and if the wind blow any way from shore, I will not harbor in this town tonight. If any bark put forth, come to the mart, where I will walk till thou return to me.
Okay.
Everyone knows us, and we know none. 'Tis time, I think, to trudge, pack, and be gone.
As from a bear a man would run for life, so fly I from her that would be my wife.
There is none but witches do inhabit here, and therefore 'tis high time that I were hence. She that doth call me husband, even my soul doth for a wife abhor. But her fair sister, possessed with such a gentle sovereign grace, such enchanting presence and discourse, hath almost made me traitor to myself. But lest myself be guilty to self-wrong, I'll stop mine ears against the mermaid's song.
Master Antipholus.
Aye, that's my name.
I know it well, sir. Lo, here's the chain. I thought to obtain you at the Porcupine. The chain unfinished made me stay thus long.
What is your will that I should do with this?
What please yourself, sir. I've made it for you.
Made it for me, sir. Well, I bespoke it not.
Not once, not twice, but 20 times you have. Go home with it and please your wife withal. And soon at supper time, I'll visit you and then receive my money for the chain.
I pray you, sir, receive the money now, for fear you ne'er see chain nor money more.
You are a merry man, sir. Fare you well.
What I should think of this, I cannot tell. But this, I think there's no man is so vain that would refuse so fair an offer chain. Well, I see here a man needs not live by shifts when in the streets he meets such golden gifts. I'll to the mart, and there for Dromio stay. If any ship put out, then straight away.
You know, since Pentecost the sum is due, and since I have not much importuned you, nor now I had not, but that I am bound to Persia and want guilders for my voyage, therefore make a present satisfaction, or I'll attach you by this officer.
Even just the sum that I do owe to you is growing to me by Antipholus, and in the instant that I met you, he had of me a chain. At 5 o'clock, I shall receive the money for the same. Please, if you walk with me down to this house, I will discharge my bond, and thank you too.
That laborer may you save. See where he comes?
Well, I go to the goldsmith's house. Go thou and buy a rope's end. That will I bestow among my wife and her confederates for locking me out of my doors by day. But so I see the goldsmith. Get thee gone. Buy thou a rope and bring it home to me. A man is well holp up that trusts to you. I promised your presence and the chain, but neither chain nor goldsmith came to me. Belike you thought our love would last too long if it were chained together, and therefore came not.
Saving your merry humor. Here's the note. How much your chain weighs to the utmost carat. The finest of the gold and the chargeful fashion with doth amount to 3 odd ducats more than I stand indebted to this gentleman. I pray you see him presently discharged, for he is bound to sea and stays but for it.
I'm not furnished with the present money. Besides, I have some businesses in the town. Good signor, take to the stranger to my house. And with you take the chain, and bid my wife disperse the sum upon the receipt thereof. Perchance, I will be there as soon as you.
And you will bring the chain to her yourself?
No, bear it with you, lest I come not time enough.
Well, sir, I will. Have you the chain about you?
And if I have not, sir, I hope you have, or else you may return without your money.
Nay, come, I pray you, sir. Give me the chain. Both wind and tide stays for this gentleman, and I to blame have held him here too long.
Good Lord, you use this dalliance to excuse your breach of promise to the Porcupine. I should have chid you for not bringing it, but like a shrew, you first begin to brawl.
But the hour steals on. I pray you, sir, dispatch.
Come, you know I gave it to you even now. Either send the chain or send me by some token.
Fine, now you run this humor out of breath. Come, where's the chain? I pray you, let me see it.
Look, my business cannot brook this dalliance. Good sir, say whether you will answer me or no. If not, I'll leave him to the officer.
I answer you. What should I answer you?
The money that you owe me for the chain.
I owe you none till I receive the chain.
You know I gave it to you a half an hour since.
You gave me none. You wrong me much to say so.
You wrong me more, sir, in denying it.
Well, officer, arrest him at my suit.
I do, and charge you in the Duke's name to obey me.
Touches me in reputation. Either consent to pay the sum for me, or I attach you by this officer.
Consent to pay thee that I never had? Arrest me, foolish fellow, if thou darest.
Here's thy fee. Arrest him, officer. I would not spare my brother in this case, if he should scorn me so apparently.
I do arrest you, sir. You hear the suit.
I do obey thee till I give thee bail. But, sirrah, you shall buy this sport as dear as all the metal in your shop will answer.
Sir, I shall have law in a thesis. To your notorious shame, I doubt it not.
Master, there's a bark of Epidamnum that stays but till her owner comes aboard. The ship is in her trim. The merry wind blows fair from land. They stay not at all but for their master, owner, and yourself.
How now, a madman? Why, the peevish sheep. What ship of Epidamnum stays for me?
The ship you sent me to hire waftage.
Thou drunken slave, I sent thee for a rope and told thee to what purpose and what end.
You sent me to the bay, sir, for a bark.
I will debate this matter at more leisure, and teach your ears to list me with more heed. To Adriana, villain, hie thee straight. Give her this key, and tell her in the desk there is a purse of ducats. Let her send it. Tell her I am arrested in the street, and that shall bail me. Hie thee, slave, be gone. On, officer, to prison, till it come.
Luciana, did he tempt thee so? Mightst thou perceive austerely in his eye that he did plead in earnest, yea or no? Looked he red or pale or sad or merrily? What observation madest thou in this case of his heart's meteors tilting in his face?
First, he denied you had him in no right.
He meant he did me none, the more my spite.
Then swore that he was a stranger here.
And true, he swore, though yet forsworn he were.
Then I pleaded for you.
And what said he?
That love I begged for you, he begged of me.
With what persuasion did he tempt thy love?
With words that in an honest suit might move. First he did praise my beauty, then my speech.
Did speak him fair?
Have patience, I beseech.
I cannot, nor I will not hold me still. My tongue, though not my heart, shall have his will. He is deformed, crooked, old, and sere, ill-faced, worse-bodied, shapeless everywhere. Vicious, ungentle, foolish, blunt, unkind, stigmatical, and making worse in mind.
Who would be jealous then of such a one? No evil lost is wailed when it is gone.
But I think him better than I say, and yet would hear in others' eyes were worse. Far from her nest the lapwing cries away. My heart prays for him, though my tongue do curse.
Here, go. The desk, the purse, sweat now, make haste.
How hast thou lost thy breath?
By running fast.
Why, man, what is the matter?
I do not know the matter. He's arrested on the case.
What? Is he arrested? Tell me at whose suit.
I know not at whose suit he is arrested. Will you send him Mistress Redemption, the money in his desk?
Go fetch it, sister. This I wonder at, that he unknown to me should be in debt. Go, Dromio. There's the money. There it's.
Okay.
And my master home immediately. Come, sister. I am pressed down with conceit. Conceit, my comfort and my injury.
There is not a man I meet but doth salute me as if I were their well-acquainted friend, and everyone doth call me by my name. Some tender money to me, some invite me, some other give me thanks for kindnesses, some offer me commodities to buy. Even now a tailor called me in his shop and showed me silks that he had bought for me, and therewithal took the measure of my body. Sure, these are but imaginary wiles, and Lapland sorcerers inhabit here.
Oh, master, here's the gold you sent me for. What? Have you got the picture of old Adam new apparelled?
What gold is this? What Adam dost thou mean?
Not the Adam that kept the paradise, but Adam that keeps the prison. He that came behind you, sir, and bid you forsake your liberty.
What, thou meanst an officer?
I, sir, the sergeant.
Well, sir, the rest in your foolery. Is there any ships put forth tonight? May we be gone?
Well, sir, I brought you word an hour since of the bark that puts forth tonight, and then you were hindered by the sergeant, and then here are the ducats that you sent for to deliver you.
The fellow is distracted, and so am I, and here we wander in illusions. Some blessed power deliver us from hence.
Well met, Master Antipholus. I see, sir, you have found the goldsmith now. Is that the chain you promised me today?
Satan, avoid. I charge thee, tempt me not.
Master, is this Mistress Satan?
That is the devil.
Oh no, nay. She is worse. She's the devil's dam, and here she comes in the habit of a light wench.
Your man and you are marvellous merry, sir. Will you go with me? We'll mend our dinner here.
Master, if you do expect spoon meat, or bespeak a long spoon.
Why, Dromio?
Mary, he must have a long spoon that must eat with the devil.
Avoid then, fiend. What tells me thou of supping? Thou art, as you are all, a sorceress. I conjure thee to leave me and get gone.
Give me the ring of mine you had at dinner, or for my diamond, the chain you promised. And I'll be gone, sir, and not trouble you.
Yeah, it's funny. Some devils ask with the, parings of a nail, a hair, a drop of blood, but she, more covetous, would have a chain. Master, be wise, and if you give it to her, the devil will shake her chain and fright us with it.
I pray you, sir, my ring or else the chain. I hope you do not mean to cheat me so.
Avaunt, thou witch! Romeo, let's go.
Okay.
Now, up to doubt, Antipholus is mad, else would he never so demean himself. A ring of mine he hath worth 40 ducats, and for the same he promised me a chain, both one and other. He denies me now. The reason that I gather he is mad, besides this present instant of his rage, is a mad tale he told today at dinner, of his own doors being shut against his entrance. Be like his wife, acquainted with his fits, on purpose shut the doors against his way. My way is now to hie home to his house and tell his wife, being lunatic, he rushed into my house and took perforce my ring away. This course I fittest choose, for 40 ducats is too much to lose.
Fear me not, man. I will not break away. I'll give thee the ere I leave thee so much money. To warrant thee as I am rested for it. My wife is in a wayward mood today and will not lightly trust the messenger that I should be attached in Ephesus. I tell you, 'twill sound harshly in her ears. Here comes my man. I think he brings the money. How now, sir? Have you that I sent you for?
Here's that, I warrant you. We'll pay them all.
Where's the money?
I gave the money for the rope.
500 ducats, villain, for a rope.
I'll serve you, sir, 500 at that rate.
To what end did I bid thee hie thee home?
To a rope's end, sir, and to that end am I returned.
And to that end, sir, I welcome you.
Good now, hold thy tongue.
Nay, rather persuade him to hold his hands.
Thou hoarse and senseless villain.
Would I were senseless, sir, that I might not feel your blows.
Thou art sensible in nothing but blows, and so is an ass.
I am an ass, indeed. You may prove it by my long ears. I have served him from the hour of my nativity to this instant and have nothing at his hands for my service but blows. When I am cold, he heats me with beating. When I am warm, he cools me with beating. I am waked with it when I sleep, raised with it when I sit, driven out of doors with it when I go home, welcomed home with it when I return, and I think when he hath lamed me, I shall beg with it from door to door.
Oh, will thou still talk?
How say you now? Is not your husband mad?
His incivility confirms no less. Good Dr. Pinch, you are a conjurer. Establish him in his true sense again, and I will please you what you will demand.
That's how fiery and how sharp he looks.
Mark how he trembles in his ecstasy.
Oh, give me your hand. Let me feel your pulse.
Oh yeah, there's my hand. Let it feel your ear.
Ah, I charge thee, Satan. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, housed within this man to yield possession to my holy prayers, and to thy state of darkness, hie thee straight. I conjure thee by all the saints in heaven.
Peace, doting wizard, peace. I'm not mad.
Oh, that thou wert not, poor distressed soul.
You minion, you, are these your customers? Did this companion with the saffron face revel and feast it at my house today, whilst upon me the guilty doors were shut and I denied to enter in my house?
Oh, husband, God doth know you dined at home. Where would you had remained until this time, free from these slanders and this open shame?
Home. Thou villain, what sayest thou?
Sir, sooth to say, you did not dine at home.
Were not my doors locked up and I shut out?
Bertie, your doors were locked and you shut out.
And did not she herself revile me there?
Son's fables, she herself reviled you there.
And did not I in rage depart from thence?
Verity you did, my bones bear witness. That sense have felt the vigor of his rage.
Is't good to soothe him in these contraries?
Oh, it is no shame. The fellow finds his vein, and yielding to him, humors well his frenzy.
Thou hast suborned the goldsmith to arrest me.
Alas, I sent you money to redeem you by Dromio here, who came in haste for it.
Money by me. Heart and goodwill you might, but surely master not a rag of money.
Went's not thou to her for a purse of ducats?
He came to me, and I delivered it.
And I am witness with her that she did.
God and the rope maker bear me witness that I was sent for nothing but a rope.
Mistress, both man and master, is possessed. I know it by their pale and deadly looks. They must be bound and laid in some dark room.
Say, wherefore didst thou lock me forth today, and why didst thou deny the pack of gold?
I did not, gentle husband, lock thee forth.
Gentle master, I received no gold, but I confess, sir, that we were locked out.
Dissembling villain, thou speakest false in both.
Dissembling harlot, thou art false in all, and art confederate with the damned pack to make a loathsome abject scorn of me. But with these nails, I'll pluck out these false eyes that would behold in me this shameful sport.
Oh, find him! Find him! Let him not come near me!
No.
Ay, me poor man, how pale and wan he looks.
What company the fiend is strong in him.
What? Will you murder me? Thou jailer, thou. I am thy prisoner. Wilt thou suffer them to make a rescue?
Masters, let him go. He is my prisoner, and you shall not have it.
Bind this man. He's frantic too.
What wilt thou do, thou fiendish officer? Hast thou delight to see a wretched man do outrage and displeasure to himself?
He is my prisoner. If I let him go, the debt he owes will be required of me.
I will discharge thee ere I go from thee. Bear me forthwith unto his creditor, and knowing how the debt grows, I will pay it. Good master doctor, I see him safe conveyed home to my house. Oh, most unhappy day!
Oh, most unhappy strumpet.
Master, I am here entered in bond for you.
Out on thee, villain. Wherefore dost thou mad me?
Bound for nothing. Be mad, good master. Cry, the devil!
God help poor souls, how idly they do talk.
Go, bear him hence. Sister, go you with me. Say now, whose suit is he arrested at?
The one Angelo, a goldsmith. Do you know him?
I know the man. What is the sum he owes?
100 ducats.
Say, how grows it due?
Due for a chain your husband had of him.
He did bespeak a chain for me, but had it not.
When as your husband, all enraged today, came to my house and took away my ring, the ring I saw upon his finger now, straight after I did meet him with a chain.
It may be so, but I did never see it. Come, jailer, bring me where the goldsmith is. I long to know the truth hereof at large.
God, for thy mercy, they are loose again.
Oh, and come with naked swords. Let's call more help to have them bound again.
Oh, away, they'll kill us. Oh.
I see these witches are afraid of swords.
It would be your wife now ran from you.
Come to the centaur, fetch your stuff from thence. I long that we were safe and sound abroad.
Faith, stay here this night. They will surely do us no harm. You saw they speak us fair, give us gold. Methinks they are such a gentle nation that but for the mountain of mad flesh that claims the marriage of me, I could find it in my heart to stay here and turn witch.
I will not stay tonight for all the town. Therefore, away to get our stuff aboard.
Okay.
I am sorry, sir, that I have hindered you, but I protest he had the chain of me, though most dishonestly he doth deny it.
How is this man esteemed here in the city?
A very reverend reputation, sir, of credit infinite, highly beloved, second to none that lives here in the city. His word might bear my wealth at any time.
Oh, speak softly. Yonder, as I think he walks.
So, and that self-chain about his neck, which he forswore most monstrously to have. Good sir, draw near to me, I'll speak to him. Signor Antipholus! I wonder how much that you would put me to this shame and trouble, and not without some scandal to yourself, with circumstance and oath so to deny this chain, which now you wear so openly. Beside the charge, the shame, imprisonment, you've done wrong to this my honest friend, who, but for staying on our controversy, hath hoisted sail and put to sea today this chain you had of me. Can you deny it?
I think I had. I never did deny it.
Yes, that you did, sir, and forswore it too.
Who heard me to deny it or forswear?
These ears of mine, thou knowst did hear thee. Fie on thee, wretch! 'Tis pity that thou livest to walk where any honest men resort.
Thou art a villain to impeach me thus. I will prove mine honor and mine honesty against thee presently, if thou dare stand.
I dare, and do defy thee for a villain!
Hold! Hurt him not, for God's sake. He is mad. Some get within him, take his sword away. Find Romeo too, and bear them to my house.
Run, master, run, for God's sake, take a house! This is some priory inn, or we are spoiled!
Be quiet, people. Wherefore throng you hither?
To fetch my poor distracted husband hence. Let us come in, that we may bind him fast and bear him home for his recovery.
I knew he was not in his perfect wits.
Oh, I'm sorry now that I did draw on him.
How long hath this possession held the man?
This week he hath been heavy, sour, sad, and much, much different than the man he was, but till this afternoon his passion there break into extremity of rage.
Hath he not lost much wealth by wreck of sea? Buried some dear friend? Hath not else his eye strayed his affection in unlawful love, a sin prevailing much in youthful men who give their eyes the liberty of gazing? Which of these sorrows is he subject to?
To none of these, except it be the last, namely some love that drew him oft from home.
You should for that have reprehended him.
Why, so I did.
Aye, but not rough enough.
As roughly as my modesty would let me.
Haply in private.
And in assemblies too.
Aye, but not enough.
It was the copy of our conference. In bed he slept not for my urging it. At board he fed not for my urging it. Alone it was the subject of my theme. In company I often glanced at it. Still did I tell him it was vile and bad.
And therefore came it that the man was mad. The venom clamors of a jealous woman poisons more deadly than a mad dog's tooth. It seems his sleeps were hindered by thy railing, and therefore comes it that his head is light. Thou sayest his meat was sauced with thy upbraidings. Unquiet meals make ill digestions. Thou sayest his sports were hindered by thy brawls. Sweet recreation barred, what doth ensue but moody and dull melancholy? In food, in sport, and life-preserving rest to be disturbed, would mad or man or beast. The consequence is then thy jealous fits have scared thy husband from the use of wits.
She never reprehended him but mildly, when she demeaned himself rough, rude, and wildly. Why bear you these rebukes and answer not?
She did betray me to my own reproof. Good people, enter and lay hold on him.
No, not a creature enters in my house.
Then let your servants bring my husband forth.
Neither. He took his place, this place for sanctuary, and it shall privilege him from your hands till I have brought him to his wits again, or lose my labor in assaying it.
I will attend my husband, be his nurse, diet his sickness, for it is my office, and will have no attorney but myself. And therefore, let me have him home with me.
Be patient. For I will not let him stir till I have used the approved means I have to make of him a formal man again. It is a branch and parcel of mine oath, a charitable duty of my order. Therefore depart. Leave him here with me.
I will not hence and leave my husband here. And ill it doth beseem your holiness to separate the husband and the wife.
Be quiet and depart. Thou shalt not have him.
Complain unto the Duke of this indignity.
Come, go. I will fall prostrate at his feet and never rise until my tears and prayers have won his grace to come in person hither and take perforce my husband from the abyss.
Anon, I'm sure the Duke himself in person comes this way to the melancholy vale, the place of death and sorry execution behind the ditches of this abbey here.
Upon what cause?
To see a reverend Syracusan merchant who, put unluckily into this bay against the laws and statutes of this town, beheaded publicly for his offense.
See where they come, we will behold his death.
Kneel to the Duke before he pass the abbey.
Yet once again, proclaim it publicly. If any friend will pay the sum for him, he shall not die, so much we tender him.
Justice, most sacred Duke, against the abbess.
She is a virtuous and reverend lady. It cannot be that she hath done thee wrong.
May it please your grace, Antipholus, my husband, who I made lord of me and all I had at your important letters, this ill day a most outrageous fit of madness took him, that desperately he hurried through the street with him his bondman, all as mad as he, doing displeasure to the citizens by rushing in their houses, bearing thence rings and jewels, anything his rage did like. Once did I get him bound and send him home, whilst to take order for the wrongs I went that here and there his fury had committed. Anon, I wot not by what strong escape he broke from those that had the guard of him, and with his mad attendant and himself, each one with ireful passion, with drawn swords, met us again, and madly bent on us, chased us away. Till raising of more aid, we came again to bind them. Then they fled into this abbey, whither we pursued them. And here the abbess shuts the gates on us and will not suffer us to fetch him out, nor send him forth that we may bear him hence. Therefore, most gracious Duke, with thy command, let him be brought forth and borne hence for help.
Long since thy husband served me in my wars, and I to thee engaged a prince's word. To do him all the grace and good I could, go some of you, knock on the abbey gate, and bid the lady abbess come to me. I will determine this before I stir.
Oh, mistress, shift and save yourself. My master and his man are both broke loose, beaten the maids a row, and bound the doctor, whose beard they have singed off with brands of fire. And sure, unless you send some present help, between them they will kill the conjurer.
Peace! Fool, thy master and his man are here, and that is false thou dost report to us.
Mistress, upon my life, I tell you true. I have not breathed almost since I did see it. He cries for you and vows if he can take you to scorch your face and to disfigure you. Hark, I hear him, mistress. Fly, be gone.
Come, stand by me. Fear nothing.
Ay me. It is my husband. Witness you that he is borne about invisible. Even now we housed him in the abbey here, and now he's there, past thought of human reason.
Justice, most gracious Duke, oh, grant me justice, even for the service that long since I did thee, when I bestrid thee in the wars and took deep scars to save thy life, even for the blood that then I lost for thee. Now grant me justice.
Unless the fear of death doth make me dote, I see my son Antipholus and Dromio.
Justice, sweet prince, against that woman there, she whom thou gavest to me to be my wife, that hath abused and dishonored me, beyond imagination is the wrong that she this day hath shameless thrown on me.
Discover how, and thou shalt find me just.
This day, great Duke, she shut the doors upon me while she with harlots feasted in my house.
Oh, it's a grievous fault. Say, woman, didst thou?
No, my good lord, myself, he, and my sister today did dine together. So befall my soul, as this is false, he burdens me withal.
Never may I look on day, nor sleep on night, but she tells to your highness simple truth.
My liege, I am advised what I say, neither disturbed with the effect of wine, nor heady rash, provoked with raging ire. This woman locked me out this day from dinner. That goldsmith there, were he not packed with her, could witness it. For he was with me then, who parted with me to go fetch a chain, promising to bring it to the Porcupine, where Dromio and I did dine together. Our dinner done, and he not coming thither, I went to seek him. In the street I met him, and in his company that gentleman. There did this perjured goldsmith swear me down that I this day of him received the chain, which God he knows I saw not. For the which he did arrest me with an officer. I did obey, and sent my peasant home for certain ducats, he with none returned. Then fairly I bespoke the officer to go in person with me to my house. By the way we met, my wife, her sister, and a rabble more of vile confederates. Along with them they brought one Pinch, a hungry lean-faced villain, a mere anatomy, a mountebank, a living dead man. This pernicious slave, forsooth, took on him as a conjurer, and gazing in mine eyes, feeling my pulse, cries out, I was possessed. Then, all together, they fell upon me, bound me, bore me thence, and in a dark and dankish vault at home, there left me and my man both bound together, till gnawing with my teeth, my bonds, in sunder. I gained my freedom, and immediately ran hither to your grace, whom I beseech to give me ample satisfaction for these deep shames and great indignities.
My lord, in truth, thus far I witnessed with him that he dined not at home, but was locked out.
But had he such a chain of thee, or
He
no?
had, my lord, and when he ran in here, these people saw the chain about his neck.
Besides, I will be sworn, these ears of mine heard you confess that you had the chain of him after you first forswore it on the mart. And thereupon, I drew my sword on you. And then you fled into this abbey here, from whence I think you are come by a miracle.
I never came within these abbey walls, nor did ever draw thy sword upon me. I never saw the chain, so help me heaven, and this is false you burden me withal.
Why? What an intricate impeach is this? If here you housed him, here he would have been. If he were mad, he would not plead so coldly. You say he dined at home. The goldsmith here denies that saying. Sirrah, what say you?
Sir, he dined with her there at the Porcupine.
He did, and from my finger snatched that ring.
'Tis true, my liege, this ring I had of her.
So thou'st him enter at the abbey here?
Sure, my liege, as I do see your grace.
Why, this is strange. Go, call the abbess hither.
Most mighty Duke, vouchsafe me speak a word. Haply I see a friend will save my life and pay the sum that may deliver me.
Speak freely, Syracusian, what thou wilt.
Is not your name, sir, called Antipholus, and is not your bondsman Dromio?
In this hour I was his bondman, sir, but he, I thank him, gnawed into my cords. Now am I Dromio and his man unbound.
I am sure you both of you remember me.
Ourselves we do remember, sir, by you, for lately we were bound as you are now. Oh, you are not Pinch's patient, are you, sir?
Why look you so strange on me? You know me well.
I never saw you in my life till now.
Grief hath changed me since you saw me last, and careful hours with time's deformed hand have written strange features on my face. But tell me yet, dost thou know my voice?
Neither.
Dromio, know thou?
No, trust me, sir, nor I.
I am sure thou dost.
Sir, but I am sure I do not. Whatsoever a man denies, you are bound to believe him.
Oh, not know my voice. Oh, time's extremity hast thou so cracked and spitted my poor tongue in 7 short years, that here my only son knows not my feeble key untuned cares. Tell me thou art my son Antipholus.
I never saw my father in my life.
But 7 years since in Syracusa, boy, thou knowst we parted, but perhaps, my son, thou shamest to acknowledge me in misery.
The Duke and all that know me in this city can witness with me that is not so. I never saw Syracusa in my life.
I tell thee, Syracusian, 20 years have I been patron to Antipholus, during which time he never saw Syracusa. I see thy age and dangers make thee dote.
Most mighty Duke, behold a man much wronged.
I see 2 husbands, or mine eyes deceive me.
One of these men is genius to the other, or so of these, which is the natural man, and which the spirit? Who deciphers them?
I, sir, am Dromio.
I, sir, am Dromio. I, sir, am Dromio. Pray, let me stay.
Aegean, art thou not? Or else his ghost.
Oh, my old master, who hath bound him here?
Whoever bound him, I will loose his bonds and gain a husband by his liberty. Speak, old Aegean, if thou beest the man that hadst a wife once called Amelia, that bore thee at a burden 2 fair sons. Oh, if thou beest the same Aegean, speak, and speak into the same Amelia.
If I dream not, thou art Amelia. Oh, if thou art she, tell me, where is that son that floated with thee on the fatal raft?
By men of Epidamnum, he and I and the twin Dromio, all were taken up. But by and by, rude fishermen of Corinth by force took Dromio and my son from them, and me they left with those of Epidamnum. What then became of them, I cannot tell. I to this fortune that you see me in.
Why, here begins his morning story right. These two, Antipholus, these two so like, and these two Dromios, one in semblance, besides her urging at her wrecked sea. These are the parents to these children, which accidentally are met together. Antipholus, thou camest from Corinth first.
No, sir, not I. I came from Syracuse.
Stay, stand apart. I know not which is which.
I came from Corinth, my most gracious lord.
And I with him.
Which of you two did dine with me today?
I, gentle mistress.
And are not you my husband?
No, I say nay to that.
And so do I, yet did she call me so. And this fair gentlewoman, her sister here, did call me brother. What I told you then, Luciana, I hope I shall have leisure to make good, if this be not a dream I see and hear.
That is the chain, sir, which you had of me.
Oh, I think it be, sir. I deny it not.
And you, sir, for this chain, arrested me.
I think I did, sir. I deny it not.
I sent you money, sir, to be your bail by Dromio, but I think he brought it not.
Nope, none by me.
This purse of ducats I received from you, and Dromio, my man, did bring them me. I see. We still did meet each other's man, and I was ta'en for him and him for me, and thereupon these errors are arose.
Oh, these ducats pawn I for my father there.
It shall not need. Thy father hath his life.
Sir, I must have that diamond from you.
Take it, and much thanks for my good cheer.
Renowned Duke, vouchsafe to take the pains to go with us into the Abbey here, and here at large discourse at all our fortunes. 33 years have I but gone in travail of you, my sons, until this present hour my heavy burden ne'er delivered. The Duke, my husband, and my children both, and you, the calendars of their nativity, go to a gossip's feast and go with me. After so long grief, such festivity.
With all my heart, I'll gossip at this feast.
Master, shall I fetch your stuff from shipboard?
Dromio, what stuff of mine hath so embarked?
Your goods that lay at host, sir, in the centaur.
He speaks to me. I am your master, Dromio. Come, go with us. We'll look to that anon. Embrace thy brother here. Rejoice with him.
There is a fat friend at your master's house that kitchened me for you today at dinner. She shall now be my sister, not my wife.
He thinks you are my glass and not my brother. I see by you I am a sweet-faced youth. Will you walk in to see their gossiping?
Not I, sir. You are my elder.
That's a question. How should we try it?
Draw lots for the senior. Till then, I'll lead thou first.
No, nay then, thus. We came into the world like brother and brother, and now let's go hand in hand. Not one before another.
Yes. Well done. That was, yeah, the madness that is Comedy of Errors. Absolutely insane. Well done, everyone. And thank you all for watching out there in YouTube land. For those of you who have been here before, as you know, this is where we do the Q&A. So we've got 3 questions that we'll ask the company. And any of you out there, if you want to put into YouTube any thoughts or ideas or questions that you have, please do, and we'll have a look at those as well. So without any further ado, we'll just go straight on and say to the company, what did you learn about the play that you didn't know before today? Great.
How difficult it is to play twins in this medium.
I learned the whole play today. What fun.
You can tell that this is one of the earlier plays, I think.
Yeah.
Both in the structure and the fact that later he learns how to use couplets to effect. And in this play, they're just everywhere. Like everyone's rhyming for no discernible reason. It's not like, oh, the poetry means something and the prose means something. It's just straight up. He's like, rhyming's cool. I like that. People like that.
Yeah. It's like bound by the rhyme instead of using it to effect. Like the first time someone tries spoken word poetry, is how it kind of feels.
It's really interesting doing it after Love's Labour's Lost for that reason, of the kind of rhyme he has in that compared to what he's doing with this.
I learned today what a goldsmith is, I think. I had a different image of a goldsmith in my mind.
Angelo Goldsmith is obviously Jewish. That's his last name, Goldsmith?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
His first name is really Angie.
Have we got anything in the YouTube?
Yeah, we've got lots of agreements, good points, agreeing with the Angelo Goldsmith discovery. Lots and lots of such fun, so well done. Longest O's that I've heard in my life. So lots and lots of love and new things learned out on the YouTube lands.
That was actually something I didn't know before. I didn't realize there was a choral O written in, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. So childishly silly. Cool. Second question then. What image, word, or phrase from the play stood out to you today?
I don't think I'd ever heard before that Antipholus of Ephesus has been off for like a week or so. I've always thought of this just like really light fun, and like it's just a weird situational comedy because there's a miscommunication. But something about the way I just heard it was like, oh, that's weird or interesting. I don't know. Jumped up.
Yeah, similarly, it's not a word or a phrase, but the part of the narrative that Antipholus of Ephesus has been, I guess, seeing this courtesan. I heard that stuck out to me today, and I was like, I mean, homegirl's right. You know, like he has been running around on her.
He's not really the nicest guy, it seems.
All the like witchcraft and sorcery and witches stuff stuck out. Especially a play about twins where they were seen as, you know, like the progeny of devilry. That was funny to hear, which is like something is not what I'm used to. Black magic. That's what it must be. It must be devils and it must be Satan. Yeah, sort of ignorance.
Everyone's quite reactionary in that way in this play. There's no one's really taking time to really think about the problem and why this is happening. They're just immediately going, this isn't right. Or you should be who I think you are, so you are who I think you are. No, there's no sense of needing or wanting to question or work anything out. and then you get to black magic straight away. I also, just to put it out there, I just really like the line, "I am to the world like a drop of water," which I thought was, you could either be incredibly melancholic or quite positive, depending on how you want to spin it. In that sense, it was very melancholic, but I like that line.
Also jumped out to yes and that, Tom, was in the first exchange with, I think, Antipholus of Syracuse and Adriana, she mentions a drop of water, which I hadn't heard that before either, before today, of like, he says that and then he hears it. And it's like, what? I don't know. That one pops.
What's YouTube Land saying?
YouTube Land is saying things like, things that popped out, wow, that's a courtesan, and noting Simon Bullen says she played this role at the Globe last year, so we have a little Tash fan club. How Dr. Pinch didn't burn the whole place down with that match really amazes me. An image that stuck out. And then some phrases that stuck out. Sherry says, "Avant thou witch" by Antipholus just felt out of place to me. And Doug says, "Why should their liberty be more than ours?" Adriana referring to the liberty of men compared to that of women.
Cool, brilliant. And then, why is or is not this play relevant today?
Who doesn't love a farce, right? Like, really? Dylan?
I'm going to go on record. I do not like farces. Yes.
Interesting.
I have a phobia of twins, so this was actually pretty rough. Yep.
Did this change your opinion on farces at all?
It made me less afraid of twins.
It reaffirmed my fear of farces.
It's not a subtle farce in that sense, is it? I mean, it is out and out, this is farce in every single way.
There's even like a whole sequence at a door in a way that like we think about classic farces as like what happens in a farce, doors slam. And that whole scene with the door where they're shouting at each other from either side of the door. It's like, there you go.
And I think there's quite a bit of, as a bit of spoiler alert, some of that servant master stuff, which is it for Taming of the Shrew that's coming up sometime next week. There's very similar kind of farcical elements that he's using for that. So besides loving everyone loves a farce except people who don't love farces. Can we think of anything else that may or may not make it relevant to today?
Men getting away with everything.
Look at the patriarchy. Look at it.
No.
I will say it was kind of, I don't know, the first scene with Luciana and Adriana is problematic for a lot of reasons, but it was interesting saying those lines and not making it like, I'm not going to make Luciana like just one of those women who, I don't know, it's just like, men do that. That's what men do. That's boys will be boys. So.
It was also wild during my thing with the abbess when she's like, "Well, you didn't lecture him enough. You didn't chide him." Yeah. I'm like, dude,
it's like,
what?
I'm pretty sure I did, but I'm pretty sure it's not the woman's fault.
Not my responsibility. Get off this before I start screaming.
I think the last time I saw this play, that part was cut. I think I think like that, like the whole part of like, well, the reason why he's doing this is because you just keep getting jealous and having these weird fits. I think that was cut last time.
Should also say as well, I've got over here, I learned that Dan is really good at making shit up on the spot. Gin.
And Dan just yells
Brilliant.
out gin all the time anyway, so it really was pretty lucky.
I went to the cabinet. There was no gin there. That
was fantastic.
Thank God.
Work.
By the way, thank God.
To Celeste's point, though, and to Dylan's point, the reason why I personally believe this is a less successful farce is that within farce there is the opportunity to make social commentary through humor, right? You can set up a whole set of extraordinary circumstances, have a lot of silly physical comedy, and it can feel like I'm just laughing and having a good time, blah, 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 blah. But at the end go, oh shit, then I had to reframe my thinking of whatever social circumstance or this interaction between these people. Maybe it's just the concept of like a whole comedy based on twinning, which like there's not inherently some sort of social commentary within like, oh, twins look alike, how crazy. Like there's no meat there. That makes me, I know that Taming of the Shrew is a very problematic play, but at least within that style of farce and comedy, there are opportunities or at least a conversation that can come up about this. To me, it just felt like all that stuff just gets glossed over, happens, and then we're like out the door. And it's like, we laughed a bunch and then it was really problematic, but we're not going to talk about it. Bye. And like, that's also one of the reasons it feels like it's very early career Shakespeare. Because later he goes in on stuff. He still makes you laugh, but he forces you to reconcile with something. And this just feels like, yeah, laugh and then go home. And I don't know. That works for some people. It doesn't work for me.
What are our friends saying?
We got Joe says it's an Elizabethan sitcom, good for a needed laugh. So I think that's Matthew says this is a lovely compliment. You make Willie the Shake come alive. Dan made me want to get some gin.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, look, thank you all so much as ever for coming and joining us. And if I'm right, bottom of screen is the donation thing of the bottom of your YouTube. I've never seen the YouTube version of it, so apparently it looks great on there. But there's something to donate from on there, which would be to just to offer all these people. And obviously, as you know, for those of you who've seen them, there's so much more than just what you're seeing on this screen right now of brilliant, brilliant people who've been doing so much for the last few months. And we're coming to the end now. We're on the final week, last 3 shows. Titus on Monday, and then 2 more, which is Taming of the Shrew and one other next week. But the last one is on Friday, isn't it? So yeah, you've got Monday, Wednesday, Friday to join us with these, and also to join us in the company pub, which is happening immediately after this for any of our brilliant friends who've our Patreons who have donated. And like I said, you can join in with that as well, and come and join us in the pub straight after this. There's some backgrounds so you can understand the concept.
Drew, is that a casino?
Yeah, I don't know. I
love it.
Drew will be running roulette in the company pub.
See you over there, everybody.
Thank you.